Alright guys, we are on to the next episode of Dragon Ball Super. We're up to episode 105 now, and this episode is called A Desperate Battle, Master Roshi's Sacrifice. So, this episode is interesting. I did like it in this aspect that it is basically just a non-stop battle with Master Roshi. One positive thing about the Tournament of Power I will definitely say is that these episodes are very focused. Like, there's not, like, a lot of, like, anime typical BS in these episodes. Like, they're very, very focused. Look at the last episode with Goku and Hit versus Dispo and Kunchi. It was just, the whole thing was just go with them fighting. This episode, very similar like that, where the whole time we just have Master Roshi fighting various fighters from Universe 4. So, this episode opens up with Roshi kind of walking around, and he's like kind of, monitoring all the different combatants and stuff, and he actually gets attacked by a female fighter from Universe 4, a sexy peachy gal, as it's called, and she basically goes in to attack him by... Her tactic is she takes her energy and can transform it into any type of weapon. So again, very similar to Kuwabara from Yu Hakusho, where she's just able to take her, energy, ki, spirit energy, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and she can form it directly into weapons. Now, Roshi is very confident that she can't beat him, and he reveals that he has been watching all the various fighters of the tournament the entire time that the tournament has been going on. Very observant, which does fit his role of, like in Dragon Ball. See, I really loved Master Roshi in Dragon Ball. Like, I love the characters in anime who are, I guess kind of the people who explain shit to the audience. In Dragon Ball, early Dragon Ball, Yamcha did a lot of that. Master Roshi did a lot of that throughout the tournament. So, for the first time that Tien busts out the Tri-Beam or the Kiko Ho, it's like, oh shit, what is this crazy thing he's doing? And Krillin is like, what is this? And Goku is like, huh? And then Roshi explains, because he knows, he's been around the block, he knows all about it. I always do like that aspect of anime, and like, they're kind of giving a natural progression for Roshi here to where, like, he was so knowledgeable and so observant in the past, and that's kind of what role he's taking here. So he instantly knows exactly how she fights, and he's aware of what his strength is compared to hers, and he tells her flat out, you have no chance. So she kind of takes off, like, a little bit of her outfit and, is, like, using the power of seduction. And, like, she's a good-looking girl or whatever, she's got some titties, she's got an ass on her. It's all good. And, like, we see Krillin in the stands is like, that shit ain't gonna work. Roshi suppressed his desires before the tournament started. And it's actually interesting because, like, Roshi appears to get overtaken by, his lust again. And he charges at her, and she, like, creates an energy spear and goes to attack him, but he blocks it, and then he powers up into, like, his max power form, and it's kind of like, I've been suppressing my desires, like, I hope you're ready for what comes next. And it's like, wait a minute. Like, it very quickly, it just turned into Roshi is about to throw himself on this girl, and she sprints away and says, he'll make me undesirable as a wife, and she forfeits and leaps off of the tournament ring, having been defeated. So, I was like, wait, what? So, Roshi was about to, like, just fuck this girl. That's how he beat her, and she just gave up? Nandato? Like, what was that? Okay, sure, we'll go with this. Now, Roshi starts to walk away, and he's attacked by another member of Universe 4. This is kind of like, it's almost like a fish-looking girl. You know what she is? I've mentioned before how some of these character designs are like basically hentai characters. A lot of them here in the Tournament of Power. This character, to me, looks like it would be a Yu-Gi-Oh monster. Like, this girl fighter that Roshi starts fighting here, this is like, Dark Empress Citadel or something, like a Yu-Gi-Oh card or some shit. That's exactly what this character looks like to me. And she uses, like, talismans and illusions, genjutsu, right out of Naruto. And, like, we get, like, this interesting little sequence where, like, Roshi's kind of, like, running around, and, like, he imagines himself, like, stepping right to the edge of the tournament, and he's like running up the pillar, that pillar in the middle of the tournament that's going down to signify each minute passing in the tournament of power. And he sees her, like, she's like giant Godzilla size and like all kinds of crazy illusion type shit. And she reveals that her planet exists in a place that's very dark, and like she can kind of bind people's shadows. So she kind of has like a Shikamaru-ish type ability from Naruto. And Roshi is like, yep, I know all this. I've been watching. This is why it's fortunate that you attacked me and not one of my teammates. And he pulls out a bottle to use the Mafuba on her. And he explains that, my teammates are incredibly strong in competitions of power. Very straightforward, just, fight. But again, they're too straightforward. So like an enemy that uses deception can kind of mess them up a little bit, which is true looking at the history of the show. Look at Cell basically tricking Vegeta into letting him power up all the way. Like, Master Roshi makes a very solid point here. And he says, you might have given my teammates trouble, so I don't have a problem taking your bitch ass down. And he uses a Mafuba on her. He's easily able to get her into the bottle, tosses her off of the edge of the ring, and she is defeated. So Roshi, within the first 10 minutes of the episode, has KO'd 2 members of Universe 4. Now, I'm not sure how much I was a fan of Roshi using the Mafuba here. Let me just explain a couple of things, right? So, like, back in Dragon Ball, Roshi uses the Mafuba and dies against King Piccolo. And he doesn't even successfully trap King Piccolo. He misses, right? And his Master Mutaido, also passed away from using the Mafuba. Now, in the manga, Ten Shinhan actually trains to use the Mafuba on, because he's going to seal King Piccolo, but he's never able to use it when he confronts King Piccolo because of King Piccolo creating another one of his, demon spawn, Drum. And then eventually Goku shows up, takes Drum out, and then fights King Piccolo. In the anime, Ten Shinhan, teaches himself the Mafuba after watching Roshi do it, practices it, and he actually successfully uses it on Drum, but does not die. Now, based upon some dialogue that's happened in the manga, the anime, like, I actually kind of, after watching this episode, I went back and looked at some things because I was curious. In the Dragon Ball Super manga, explicitly, Roshi does kind of state that, like, it's more dangerous for the user based upon how powerful the enemy is. Like, Roshi basically tells Goku, because Goku is having trouble learning the Mafuba in the Dragon Ball Super manga to take down Zamasu, right? And Goku says, well, okay, Moot and Roshi, how about we take you to the future? And he tells Goku, I wouldn't be able to use a Mafuba on someone that powerful. I would die. I wouldn't be able to trap them. So Roshi using the Mafuba here and surviving, not only surviving, but taking basically no ill effects from it. He's not tired. He's not out of power or anything. I guess it's in relation to this Demon Girl Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster's power level. I mean, Roshi is obviously leagues and leagues more powerful than he was back in Dragon Ball. He's obviously done an undeterminable amount of training off screen. He was there with them during the Resurrection F stuff. He also was preparing for the Turn of Power. So it's difficult to gauge exactly where his power is, but he was able to use the Mafuba with no ill effects on this fighter and completely KO her. So right after this, GANOS from Universe 4 attacks Master Roshi. Now, this is the spy who actually was keeping tabs on Goku when Goku was going to go get Frieza to join the team. And, he kind of led to Goku and Frieza being attacked before they went to the Tournament of Power. This same guy. And he also battled Goku a little bit at the start of the Tournament of Power itself. He actually transforms into, like, this weird, like, bird-type monster. Like, I was not expecting this guy to do a transformation. And then not only that, but like, it's like, his design is, like, really kind of stupid. Well, okay, let me not say stupid, but real funny looking. Like, he's got the big beak. It's like a big diesel bird. It just is a very weird. Like, I will say this. I would bet this character was designed by, this is a Toriyama character right here. This isn't Toyotaro, to me, is what it feels like. I don't have a problem with all the wacky designs of the Tournament of Power, But like there does need to be like, like actual like intimidating fighters as well. Like obviously, like Khalifa and Kale are like just normal looking intimidating fighters. Jiren, obviously, supposedly there's some spoilers going around about Jiren, being more than we've seen thus far, but I don't know. This GANOS look for me was so dumb. Like the point I'm getting at here is I can't imagine us using this form of GANOS in like Dragon Ball Fighters next year, right? Like Khalifa, I could picture Khalifa like being in Dragon Ball Fighters, fighting alongside Dragon Ball Z characters and all that. But this boy GANOS right here, like no, I don't see him outside of like a Dragon Ball game besides like Xenoverse or something. Now, at the start of this battle between Roshi and GANOS, Roshi absolutely obliterates this dude. And he's kind of like, this doesn't make sense. I should be stronger. I should be faster. And Roshi is just kind of giving him the business. And he states that GANOS, his movements are too straightforward. Roshi can read them and easily defeat him. And then also the fact that GANOS is like overcome by rage that his teammates were taken down. And so he's not really thinking when he's fighting. Now, okay, as long as we continue moving forward with this, like, it's okay. But, like, this is a stark contrast from even the last arc where, it's like Goku Black is like, oh, Vegeta, the power of your anger allowed you to surpass me. You're beating my ass. Well, all of a sudden, I'm just angrier, and now I'm stronger than you again. Like, now they're kind of telling us that, like, oh, GANOS is getting his ass beat by Roshi because he's, losing himself in anger, when previously in Dragon Ball, losing yourself in anger, that's how you fuck dudes up. So, like, okay, if they're gonna switch up on us like that, I'm okay with it as long as they're consistent. But, like, again, GANOS is stronger, faster, but Roshi's experience and the fact that he's calm and level-headed is allowing him to basically work GANOS like a fucking bitch. So, Roshi keeps beating down GANOS, and GANOS just keeps coming and coming and coming. And eventually he starts to overpower Roshi. And, like, he really starts giving Roshi the business. He hits him with this, like, big electrical attack, knocks Roshi back, and Roshi looks to be defeated. Now, the Universe 4 God of Destruction is actually talking about this and says that, Roshi is super old, whereas GANOS is young and powerful. And every second of this battle, he's growing and growing and growing and getting stronger, which is fine. So Roshi gets up and, like, it refuses to go down, and he decides to use this hypnosis technique, or I believe in the Funimation dub they called it the Sleepy Boy technique. This is something Roshi used on Goku in the very first World Tournament at the beginning of Dragon Ball. Now, it begins to take hold, GANOS is being put to sleep, and GANOS actually hits himself with an electricity attack. He takes damage, but he's able to kind of break free of the hypnosis, and he tells Roshi that if that was me 5 minutes ago, I would have been beaten, and then proceeds to beat Roshi's ass a little bit more. Now, in the meantime, as GANOS is really beginning to get the edge over Roshi, Goku is fighting this, a blue hentai bukkake monster. Like, I'm making a ton of jokes about a lot of these fighters being hentai characters, but, like, Goku is literally fighting, like, a slime tentacle monster. Like, just flat out, hands down, end of story. And, like, this tentacle monster is, like, wrapped all over Goku, and Goku's trying to break free and help Roshi, but he's not able to. Now, Roshi basically stands up and says that, like, I have to beat this guy because he's going to get stronger and stronger and continue to grow until he's going to be a problem for Goku and the others. And he kind of gives this speech, which I'm pretty sure is, like, the exact lines of dialogue he told Krillin and Goku at the start of Dragon Ball when he first began training them. He goes max power, full power, and fires off his max power Kamehameha, which goes basically right through GANOS' electricity attack that he's using, and he's able to defeat GANOS, send him over the ring, but using all of Roshi's energy, putting it into this max full power Kamehameha, Roshi falls to the ground and appears to, die. Like, he's completely tapped out, completely out of energy, and done. Now, after Goku sees this, he's had enough. he goes Super Saiyan Blue, completely just blows the tentacle slime monster away, and rushes over to go help Master Roshi. Same thing with Krillin. Krillin actually, starts to leap out of the stands to go help Roshi, and Kaioshin actually grabs him and says, no, motherfucker, you can't go back into the battle arena. That's not gonna fly. Now, what happens here is we actually get a pretty emotional scene where Goku is, really distressed and worried about, Roshi being what appears to be on the brink of death, and Goku actually, uses his energy to kind of give a jump start to Roshi's heart. We've seen Piccolo do this to Gohan, for example, during the Resurrection F arc. And it looks for a while touch and go, but Roshi is able to recover. And Goku is you see him basically on the verge of tears. Goku is losing it, almost crying. Krillin is losing it. And I did see a lot of people very misinformed saying oh, are we just gonna ignore the fact that this is the first time Goku's cried? And it's man, that just exposes that there is a lot of people who are watching Dragon Ball Super who probably not only have they not seen most of Dragon Ball Z, but have never seen Dragon Ball, where, Krillin dies, Goku cries, Master Roshi dies, Goku cries. It's not a first. Goku acts like this when his, close friends, especially Krillin and Roshi, when something happens to them, that really bothers Goku, because again, we're going back to episode 13, I think, of Dragon Ball, where the three of them basically became the master and apprentices, and they got very close after that. Now, Roshi gets up, he's fine. We see Beerus kind of ask Krillin what Master Roshi's name is again, kind of a sign of respect, because Beerus has always been calling him Roshi, and the episode kind of ends there with Goku and Roshi walking away, and Roshi having defeated 3 fighters of Universe 4, which is surprising because I thought GANOS would probably be around for a lot longer and also have more to offer the Tournament of Power, but no, he got his ass blasted by Roshi. Surprising, but I did like it. It was a fine episode. I don't mind a lot of the stuff they're doing in the Tournament of Power. I just wish that while all this was taking place, there was a big battle taking place. I don't know, I wish as soon as the tournament started, Vegeta versus Hit was the thing, right? And then Vegeta and Hit were having this big battle in the meantime, while all these episodes were going on. So in this episode, we could have seen Roshi fighting all these cats, but then it would kind of go back and forth between, Vegeta and Hit having this big battle, because that's the only thing, is there's not a super high stakes, holy shit fight going on right now. And the tournament really would benefit from a 4 episode long death battle between heavyweights right now, because we're still it's getting a little how should I say, it just almost feels pointless because we're not seeing any big guns fight, and we get cock teased by it constantly. Hopefully pretty soon we're going to see some big guns start to battle. I think it will be the case. And last thing before we end the review here, the narrator did state that there's still 34 minutes, so we have a hell of a long time to go. You guys tell me what you thought of the Tournament of Power thus far.